Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. My name is Marissa if you are new here, your favorite problematic housewife. Okay, today we're going to be talking about the huge scandal that's been popping off and has been labeled Sandwich Gate with the Dougherty dozen. This has been like the talk of the YouTube town, and a lot of people are just freaking out about this whole sandwich being given to homeless shelters and charity thing. And we're just going to kind of do a little breakdown of what happened and what I saw from the beginning, and let's just get right into it. Don't mind my lighting, it's not the best. It's really gloomy out. I had to order pieces for my camera, my ring light. I need to get a new one because the cord's gone, like all kinds of shit. But I'm doing the best with what I got, so don't mind if it doesn't look perfect. We're just going to keep it pushing. Okay, so when I first started seeing this go down is because Alicia from Dougherty Dozen did like this huge Costco haul. And Britt, I showed some clips in my previous video, which I'll link down below if you haven't seen yet. But I'll show some of the clips again in this video. A lot of people were mad that she was buying all this bread. And they're like, what is she going to do with all of this bread? Like, why is she buying 50 loaves of bread? I mean, I personally think it's kind of like weird to like count how many loaves of bread somebody's buying. I don't understand the obsession with how this woman like spends her money and like what she chooses to buy for food. It just seems, it's just weird to me. Like I try to see it from a different perspective, but I can't wrap my head around why anybody cares how much bread she buys. Like, that's why I was like making fun of it in my last video, because like, who cares if she buys 100 loaves of bread? It just seems like no matter what this woman does, people have an issue with it. They have an issue with it and they're going to complain. And I think what happened with Sandwich Gate kind of proves that no matter what she does, she can't win. Okay, so after this Costco haul, Radiant Britt did a video. A lot of people like were talking about what was going on. What is she going to do with the bread? What's going on? Oh, the mystery. So Britt made a video pretty much demanding that Alicia use all this food that she bought at Costco to make bagged lunches for the homeless. And she was like, this is not a threat, Alicia, but you better use that bread and nutrient bars and fruit granola bars and whatever to make bagged lunches on Christmas Eve. Okay, she called Alicia's kids spoiled brats pretty much.
I'm so pissed off right now. I was not planning on doing another Dougherty Dozen video for at least for a couple of days. I just had some other stuff that was on my mind that I wanted to talk to you guys about, but I watched her freaking Costco haul and I'm so angry. So Alicia decides to go to Costco and do a haul. This is something that she does all the time. It's not something new or interesting, but I received some messages about this Costco haul, so I decided to watch it at 2 times speed for myself just to see what's the upset about. Why am I seeing Costco all over my DMs? And this woman announces that she's doing this 1 million subscriber quote celebration on Christmas Eve. So I'm thinking, okay, what could she have planned? What could she possibly come up with that, you know, is exciting for the viewers? She ends up going over to Costco, and this woman buys like 150 granola bars, 200 Nutri-Grain bars, a bunch of cookies, a bunch of snacks, and so much bread. Heart almost hit the floor when I saw the amount of bread she bought.
All right, I need a lot of bread. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Alicia Dougherty, and this is not a threat or anything like that, but this is what I hope she's going to do. I hope that all of these granola bars and Nutri-Grain bars are going to the homeless shelter. I hope that all the socks are going to their local homeless shelter. And it would be nice if sweatsuits also did, because let's be honest, they already have it at home. I really hope that she proves everyone wrong for once and decides that this haul is what she's going to give back. A homeless shelter would be absolutely floored to receive all of the stuff that she piled on these 4 flats at Costco, and a cart. 4 flats plus a cart. So here's my hope. My hope is that she's going to have her kids pitch in, and instead of just playing with their toys and being extra spoiled on Christmas, they spend part of their Christmas Eve helping put together bagged lunches for the homeless shelter. I hope that's what's going to happen. My local homeless shelter will accept bagged lunches. I don't know if you have to be like qualified to do that. I kind of worry about, Alicia's kitchen is not super clean, but maybe she's not preparing them. Maybe she's just going to drop off.
She's always making comments about the Dougherty Dozen kids, how they are ungrateful, they don't care about their stuff, they're spoiled, and that's another thing that I don't understand. Why is that acceptable for her to say that about other people's kids? When did that become okay? Because it's the Dougherty Dozen? Like, people are mad that Alicia's showing her kids on camera, but nobody cares when Britt is talking about other people's children. Like, it doesn't make sense. That whole community, it's just a lot of things don't make sense to me, and that's just my opinion. So Britt demanded that she make bagged lunches. Now, what's a bagged lunch, okay? A bagged lunch would be a sandwich, snacks, chips, put in a bag. So in order to make a bagged lunch, you then would have to actually make the sandwiches, correct? Okay, stay with me, guys. So, after that, a little bit of time went by, and then Alicia posted a video of her making 200 sandwiches. And in the hashtag, it was like, thank you, Dietz and Watson, for supplying these meats and cheeses for these sandwiches. So the plan was, Dietz and Watson gave her this lunch meat and cheese, and she was supposed to donate it to a homeless shelter, a food bank, or something like that, okay? So she makes up all these sandwiches, okay? Now, after people were demanding that she donate food and Britt was demanding that she make bagged lunches, after Alicia's video making the bagged lunches, Britt then decided that that wasn't good enough, okay? So not only did Britt complain that she wasn't donating enough food to charity, but now she's complaining how this food is donated, how this food is made, and all of that stuff. So she literally makes a video ripping apart every step of the process. The table's not clean. She's not wearing gloves. She's not wearing a hairnet. She's putting mayo on it. Britt literally picked apart every single part of this process of making these damn sandwiches, okay? And I will say, like, listen, these sandwiches are for homeless people. People who don't get a lot of food. They don't have a lot of money. I think they're just grateful to get a damn sandwich. I highly doubt they're thinking like, oh my God, is she clean? Did she clean the table? Was she wearing gloves? Was she doing this and this? And somebody made a good point in my comments of my video, and they're like, do you wear a hairnet and gloves and like all this stuff when you're serving dinner at a dinner party? I don't see the person wearing gloves and hairnets and stuff. So it's like, she literally was just casually making 200 sandwiches.
Endless loaves of bread being put to use by Alicia. Now here's the thing. She's making 200 sandwiches for her 1 million subscriber celebration on YouTube. Thank you, Dietz and Watson, for donating all the meats and cheeses. Ew. I have been really hoping that she was going to do the right thing after I saw that Costco haul. And I said, let me give the benefit of the doubt. Hopefully this is going back to people that are unhoused this holiday season. Maybe they're trying to get out of abusive relationships with their children. Let's hope that for once she does something that gives back. And sat on it for a few days. It was supposed to happen Christmas Eve. Nothing happened. The bread was still sitting around. Whatever. Now we come to the 28th, where she is showing, first of all, putting all of this bread on just a table. We don't, let's just give the benefit of the doubt and say that she sanitized this table. This table should have been covered with some kind of plastic wrap or saran wrap or something in order for this porous surface, which is wood, to not come in contact with this bread that could be going to people outside of the Dougherty home. Secondly, she's not wearing gloves. Now, y'all don't have to be the smartest people on the planet to know that when you're preparing food for others, sanitize, wash your hands, wash your hands, wash your hands. Keep a clean workspace, keep a clean workspace. Alicia's not doing any of that here. Number one, and I am not a food inspector, I'm just someone who happens to care about hygiene and cleanliness, and I know a thing or two about prepping food for people that are outside of my home. Number one, who knows if the table was properly sanitized? Number two, it doesn't have a cover on it, so there's no protecting this food that is going to be ingested from the germs and who knows what else that might be on this table that wasn't properly cleaned. Secondly, Alicia's not wearing gloves. Third, she's not wearing a hairnet. Fourth, she's not wearing an apron or anything to keep her clothing from brushing up against this bread that is on the edge of this dining room table.
And the reason why she was making all those sandwiches is because that's how she got popular, was making like a huge pile of sandwiches for her kids. So I understood like why she chose sandwiches for her 1 million subscriber celebration. It made sense to me. Some people like didn't seem it to make sense to them, but it made sense to me and some other people that I talked to why she chose sandwiches, because that's what made her like famous, you know? So she literally sat there and made 200 sandwiches. Like, that is a lot of sandwiches to make, to give to the hungry and the needy and people who need food. But no, it wasn't good enough, okay? And because Britt and people were flipping out about how she made these sandwiches, well, some subscribers decided to contact Dietz and Watson.
This message that I was sent a screenshot from a lovely sub of mine where someone had actually reached out to this company, and this is what they had to say. May I ask why you donated meats and cheese to the Dougherty Dozen? Hi, thanks for your comment. We wanted to donate food to local food banks in order to help those less fortunate this holiday season. The food was supposed to be delivered unopened in their sealed packaging. This was not a paid partnership, and Dietz and Watson has no current or future plans to, partner with them. So notice they did in fact say that, their whole thing is that they want to donate to people less fortunate, but the product was supposed to get there in its entirety, sealed and everything.
Now, that really pissed me off, because this is happening right after people got pissed when Alicia was copyright striking other channels. So you're telling me, and messing with their money. So Alicia can't copyright strike channels and mess with their money, but you guys can contact brands that she's working with and mess with her money. Do you see the hypocrisy there? This is not the first time people have contacted brands that she's working with to start trouble and get them to drop Alicia, okay? So what ended up happening was, because people were contacting this brand, you guys have to remember they're a company. They don't want scandals. They don't want drama. They don't want nothing to do with this stuff on YouTube and controversy and people saying their food's contaminated and Alicia contaminated their food. So they ended up messaging back. Amy Robinson showed a message one of the subscribers sent to Dietz and Watson saying, "Why are you donating to Alicia?" And they replied back to her, "We wanted to donate some food to local charity and do our charity work, but she was supposed to give the meats and cheeses unopened to the shelter instead of actually making sandwiches." Oh, another thing. Let me just pause for a second. Radiant Britt also had a fit because Alicia didn't buy the meats and cheeses. I'm sorry, I was laughing. I was like laughing when she was like, Alicia, you should have bought the meats and cheeses yourself. Have you guys never heard of companies sponsoring people for charity? That is a normal thing. When you have like a gala at school, companies donate their product for auction, for charity. It is a completely normal thing. Nobody goes out and spends their own money if they're doing like a proper like charity fundraiser or charity work. Like they always get donations from companies. And it's like, again, but because it's Alicia, everyone's gonna have a fit and say that like, oh, she is awful because she didn't buy her own meats and cheeses. It's like if the company wants to donate 200, like enough for 200 sandwiches, why does anybody care? Like, it just boggles my mind that people literally rip apart everything this woman does. So after the message came in and the company said they have no future plans to sponsor her, or they're not doing anything paid with her right now. And everybody took that as the company's dropping her. They want nothing to do with her. And I didn't really see it like completely as like scandalous as everybody was making it out to be. The company said that they weren't doing any paid sponsorships with her at the moment, and they didn't have any plans to. And people kept saying her Deets and Watson video was sponsored. It wasn't. They just donated the food. Just because they don't have any future plans to work with her doesn't mean like they're dropping her and they think she's horrible and whatnot. I'm sure it doesn't help that subscribers are contacting companies of YouTubers they don't like. That's not okay. Why are people like, why is that acceptable? How would these people like it if I or any other person called their job? What if I called your job up and I was like, do you know what this person's doing online? Do you know all the shady stuff and the hate comments and the trolling and the nastiness that they're doing online? How would you like it if your job was contacted? You would have a fit. There would be, if Britt's job was contacted by somebody, all hell would break loose. She would have a meltdown about it. But it's okay to contact people who Alicia's working with because you don't like her. That's okay. It's like the hypocrisy is freaking endless with these people, and it's outrageous at this point. So, now everybody is also mad because she made the sandwiches. It's like, you gotta be kidding me. Like, Britt demanded that she make bagged lunches, okay? She demanded that she make bagged lunches, which would include putting a sandwich together. And then Britt has the nerve to get back on her channel and complain and, like, gloat about Alicia losing, like, this company she's working with because she made the bagged lunches instead of giving unopened meats. I'm sure she didn't know. Like, it's not that complicated. It's not that deep. I'm sure she had no idea that she was not supposed to give, like, opened sandwiches that she made to the shelter. I didn't know. I didn't know you could only give unopened food. Like, I thought they would be happy to get a donation of 200 sandwiches to feed people who are starving. How is she supposed to know that? Now, I understand, like, I think, okay, so some people think that she should have already known what the rules were, but I think my conspiracy is I don't think the company would have cared. I honestly don't think they would have said anything if people weren't contacting them. I think they just didn't want anything to do with the scandal. They didn't want their food, like, being said out in the world that it's contaminated and it's bad and this company's working with this controversial mommy vlogger. I really think that they just wanted to, like, step back from the whole thing and have nothing to do with it. I really believe, this is just my opinion, doesn't mean I'm right, and I understand if your opinion's different, but I really believe that if nobody had contacted that company, they wouldn't have said anything. I don't think they would have said anything. And to me, it makes no sense that you would think to give just chunks of meat and blocks of cheese to the shelter. Like, obviously, if that company knew her channel at all, That's what she does. She makes a bunch of sandwiches. So it's kind of sus to me that the company's kind of acting like she did this totally wrong thing and she like wasn't supposed to do it that way. I don't know. There's something like off there about that. I feel like Deethan Watson is kind of being shady and throwing Alicia under the bus. Again, just my opinion. I'm sure that this one subscriber is not the only person that contacted them. And again, their bottom line and their company name and like that is going to come above all else. They will drop Dougherty Does It in a hot second and go find another influencer to work with if they think the person is too controversial. And because there's so many hate videos about her, if they decided to look her up and see all of this hate, all of these people talking about her, saying all this horrible shit about her, that is going to affect her income. And you are going to like affect her income by making these nonstop videos and contacting brands. Like, that's not okay. Doing commentary is one thing, but contacting a company and trying to make them aware of like who this person is and trying to ruin the business relationship that they have, that they make money and provide for their family, it's gross. It's gross. And anybody who is willing to do stuff like that, I just think that you're just awful. Who the hell do you think you are? Contacting the lunch meat company to try to ruin the donation and the charity and this whole plan because you don't like Alicia. And here's the freaking kicker, you guys. Everybody's mad because allegedly, now I don't know if this was true. I was trying to find out, but allegedly she couldn't give the sandwiches to the shelter because of this whole debacle. And people are mad at her because the sandwich got wasted, allegedly. I don't know if it's true. People are mad at her if the sandwiches got wasted. Are you kidding me? You're gonna be mad at her when y'all are the ones who contacted the company in the first place to ruin this charity work. Homeless people didn't get their food to eat because you guys decided to butt in, stir the pot, and try to ruin the relationship she had with this company. It's your fault. Anybody who supported and like contacted the company and is okay with that, you guys are the one who caused these homeless people not to have their food. Not Alicia. Not Alicia. Because I really think it all would have went without a hitch if people didn't make this big fuss about it and say that she's making sandwiches on dirty tables and the food and the mayo is going to be rotting. Like, Britt was acting like the mayo was going to be rotting in the freaking sandwich. It was just like, Sandwich Gate is so ridiculous in my opinion, and I think people need to just butt out of other people's business affairs and what they're doing. Let her give the freaking sandwiches to the homeless. Why are you guys trying to ruin it and then get mad at her when you ruin the situation? Like, I was literally sitting back and watching this whole debacle, like, what? Like, from the beginning, from when she bought the bread to when Britt was complaining that she needed to make bagged lunches. Then when she made bagged lunches, Britt was complaining that she didn't do it right. And then after that, people contact the company. Then Britt's mad because the food had to go to waste. How are you going to get mad at her when that is what you demanded that she did? So because she didn't do it up to your standards, you're totally fine with people contacting companies that she's working with. And you claim, like, all these people claim to care about her kids, yet they have no problem ruining the income that takes care of those children. That is what I have never understood about the anti-mommy vlogger community. Their whole thing, their whole, reason for doing this is supposed to be the kids, the kids, the kids. Why is she doing this to her kids? She's a horrible parent. Kids are being exploited. We care about the kids. Well, if you cared about the kids, you wouldn't be destroying an income that takes care of those children. Why would you want to be taking money out of those kids' mouth if you supposedly care about them? I don't think any of these people care about the kids whatsoever. I don't. That's just my opinion, because if you actually did, you would be doing what's in the best interest of the children. And none of these people are doing that. And that's fine, okay? We're drama channels. I'm not saying you have to like base your whole channel on what's best for people's children, okay? Because listen, anybody that we talk about and say negative things about, it can affect their income, which then affects their family. But when your whole community is based around children and exploited children and saving children, and we're going to care about the kids, Britt literally talks about kids 24/7 on her channel at this point. If that is what your main goal is, to do what's best for the children, you're failing, because you're not. So stop. Britt says she hates fake saviors. What the fuck is she? What is Britt? Is she not a fake savior? Is she not an emotional manipulator, riling people up, getting people upset about what Alicia's doing, and using the kids and animals to get that emotional reaction from you? That's what she's doing. And so many people can't see that because they're literally being manipulated by watching her. She's using and pulling on people's heartstrings when it comes to children and animals and whatever she can to get you to have a reaction and get pissed. And she's allowed to say and do whatever she wants. She also has accumulated all of the nasty, hateful people who literally spend their entire days commenting and talking about Alicia and every single thing she does. So if you want an audience like that, I mean, by all means, go ahead. So yeah, I think Sandwichgate was just so ridiculous. I don't think it's what people were making it out to be. I feel like people blow things so out of proportion when it comes to Alicia. Now, this is just my opinion. I know some people are not going to agree with me, and that's fine. I don't think she knew. I don't think she intentionally made sandwiches to break the rules and then not care that they had to be thrown out. I don't think that. I just think she was trying to do something nice for charity while she was celebrating her 1 million subscriber thing, and everybody on the internet ruined it. And that's how I see it. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Please let me know what you think in the comments down below. Let me know if there's any videos you want to see next, and I will see you in my next one. Bye, guys.